In this video, we are going to cover the general introduction and overview of when to loot. In Arena Breakout, we are also joined by Kiwi, who is currently the #2 player in Arena Breakout, and he will be offering his unique experience and knowledge for the community to learn and grow. I will present a theory, what my current belief and conclusion of a subject is. He will correct it or confirm if it is correct based on his experience. I will ask questions along the way for us to understand and learn fully together. When to loot in Arena Breakout is a question that is at the core of this game, which answers everything: when to fight, how to fight, why to fight, when and where to rotate, when to extract. So there's the overall concept of, okay, the situation is, I heard footsteps, I'm looting. Now, I have three choices here that I thought these are what you should do in the situation. So you run if the location can be surrounded and they may know, such as you made sound around their appearance, like you looted or moved and they could know where you are. You wait if you're certain they aren't aware and you can surprise them for free. Or if you push, if there's a good indication enemy closer is alone, you can take a 1v1 and you hold a position if it's defendable and they can't surround you, even if they know you're there. But the theory I have beyond that is you should avoid that situation by simply not looting and holding a strong defendable position until it's certain there's no enemies, or the latest point that you can take to wait to loot, to still get enough loot to be profitable. And then as a team, that it changes, that you can have someone covering, so you have a lot more freedom at that point. And then when it comes to in the open, if there's a body, that against decent skilled players, you can use smokes and avoid them, but really good players, you won't be able to do that because they'll still spray you if you're in the wrong location, even if you're running in the open, and you'll lose. So that's the theory I currently have of what is the best way to loot in Arena Breakout. And the question here is, what if that is correct? And what if that is incorrect? And if there's a better way or more things missing from that?
Now, so I know a lot of you struggle with looting. And what you do when players are running up to you, or you hear some footsteps. Now there are three main things that you can do. Run if you know where you are is a very bad spot. You could throw a smoke grenade, try and run to cover, or you could wait, hold your position, and just wait for the enemy to approach you. Because if it's not the same, if they're in a different team, then the person might not know you're there, so you can catch them off guard. Or if it's just one opponent and you're sure you can win the 1v1, you can push. I must admit, I agree with all the points you put there: run, wait, and push. Like those are all. That's pretty much. That's a lot. I mean, a lot of the time, I like before I loot the lobby's been wiped, so like I don't have to worry about players coming up. But if the lobby isn't clear, then a lot of the time I would, if I heard players running up, I'd look at the situation, look at my positioning, if I have a good position that I can hold, if I have to push, if I have to run away, It is optimal to avoid the situation by not looting. Oh, right. The theory is it optimal to avoid above situation by not looting and camping? Oh, right. So
that's like another idea I had was, so that was the three choices to do if you're in a situation where you're looting and someone appears. But the other concept I thought of was, well, you can just skip that and just not loot until it's certain the enemies are clear from your area, and wait as long as you can to avoid any risk of someone randomly appearing.
A lot of you might ask, is it optimal to avoid the situation, i.e. not looting, waiting for maybe his teammates? If you maybe killed 3 of them, maybe it might be a 4th teammate. If you want to just wait on his bodies, or just leave the loot until there's a few minutes left on the match. Now that is a very slow.
So that would be like a very slow playstyle that is perhaps over cautious, that is not necessarily necessary to still do well, or that would only be required when the lobby level is very close to your skill. That everyone's playing very slow, because if you play faster since they're equal skill, then you would lose.
Well, skilled play. I know a lot of skilled players do like to camp a lot. That's the only problem.
Well, when I was thinking of looting, so I looked at a previous game I played, PUBG Mobile, and so if you loot at scrims, like there, enemies will play a lot slower because everyone's equal skill, and they'll wait for the timing, the fights to play out. Versus in a classic, when they have a lot higher skill, then they will play faster because they can. So I was thinking, does that translate over to here, that if the lobby is strong and you're not way better than everyone else, that you'd take it slower to wait for the situation to play out optimally, and if you have a skill advantage, then you take it faster because you can.
Well, the difference for me, or I feel personally, is like how I play is because if it's an empty lobby, I'll play fast, but if it's a stacked lobby, I'll play even faster and try and hold the power positions. For example, on Armory, I'd go to Radar. On Northridge, I'd try and take control of the hotel. For example, like building C or building B is also a good one to hold. No, it's still actually in building C. My apologies, but it's second floor building C and third floor building C are quite easily defendable positions. I don't play much of Farm and Valley, but on Farm, if you can get to hotel first, you can be fine. You can have quite a strong power position. On Valley, maybe RV camp or the villa, you can hold those positions quite easily. For like slower lobbies, I don't like for lobbies I feel like that aren't as stacked or not as sweaty. I'll play it slower than I would a fast lobby because I'm not worried about power positions. I'm not worried about people who if they take that position will wreck me. Like a guy with M61s. If it's an empty lobby, that might be just a guy with a Fowler M80s, or a M110 with M62s at most. So I'm not worried about them as much as I would be if it was a full stack squad with H4s, Fowlers with M61s. But in terms of looting in a stacked lobby or a quiet lobby, I think it depends where I am on the map, when I would loot, and I think for more stacked lobbies, say for example you're on Armory, you're at gas station, you spawn the gas station spawn, not the river spawn, just further outside a gas station, and you get pushed by that team, you kill them, you got 4 dead guys to loot, 2 of your teammates are dead, it's just you and one other, and you think you'll be fine. I'd still push radar, clear radar, have that power position. If people have gone inside, I'll leave them. If people are at barn, I'd probably leave them and go back to the gas station and loot. Only then, once I know that the chances of me getting pushed while I'm looting in a stacked lobby, I would be like, oh yeah, I'd loot. If it's a quieter lobby, I'll just loot them straight away. Because not many people at the moment push up from gas.
So if it's a higher tier lobby, you'd focus on position first quicker to take it first, and then take your time looting later when it's safe. But an easier lobby, you would loot straight away and not be so concerned about position. But on a map like Northridge, does that change anything compared to Armory?
Northridge, I'd say not so much, because in my opinion, the power positions aren't as great. They're not as strong. Because on Armory, you have radar station. You can control gas station. You can control spawn hill. You can control blue tents and hospital. You can control barn. A lot of barn as well. So I don't think on Northridge the positioning is as important, is as key. But it does have a lot of advantage, because if, say for example, you fighting at communication station and there's a team just like running past, there's a bus station down there, you've got the high ground on them, they have the low ground. Or for example, if the team's crossing the bridge and you're up in hotel, you'll have strong positioning over them. But I would say it's not as important as on Armory.